This year, we have to learn these topics in Pandas. I have just copy paste everything from the syllabus. Okay, so first we are going to understand the Pandas, the matplot, and then data structure in Pandas, series and data structure. These things we are going to understand first. And then if we require, then I'm going to do it practically also. I'll just tell you about this. So the first thing you have to understand कि what is Pandas? Pandas है क्या इसके बारे में first we have to know that. Okay. So we all know Pandas is a library, and this library is developed by Wes Meskini. Okay, he is the developer of Pandas library, and Pandas is mainly used for it is used for the data analysis, it is used for the data processing, or you can say it is used for the data analysis. It provides the different types of the data structures that help us in doing the processing. Okay, and for that purpose we are using the Pandas. What is the full form of the Pandas? If you are going to check the full form of the Pandas, it is known as the panel data system. It is known as the panel data system. So DA stands for the data here, DA stands for the data, PAN stands for the panel here, and S stands for the system here. So the full form of this panel data system, that is the full form of this panel library. Okay. Now, after that, if you want to use the pandas, as I told you last time also, you all have to install the pandas. So you can simply install the pandas by using the pip command, pip install pandas, and we all know about this. You have to install the pandas. After installation of pandas, what you have to do? If you want to use, you must have to import the pandas. You require to use the import pandas as pd or you can write import pandas only. But I suggest you use this alias also while you are importing the pandas in your library. Okay. So actually pandas is used for the scientific processing, scientific calculations. It provides the facility to do the data processing on the small data as well as large data. How we are going to do this and what is the matplotlib? Matplotlib, this is another library, and this library is used for the data visualization. Pandas is used for the data analysis while matplotlib is used for the data visualization. Okay. Now what is the data structure here? There's one word is there, data structure in Pandas. So first thing you have to understand what is the data structure. Actually, data structure is what? Normally, data structure is provide a way. It's provide a way to organize the data. It's provide a way to organize the data. What about the data structure? Normally, data structure is tell about that how the data is going to store. It's tell about that how the data is going to store and how we are going to do the processing with the data. How you are going to process the data. What is the meaning of the processing? Means how you are input and how you will get the output from the data. Means if you want to perform the read operation, how can you do the read operation? Okay, means read means you are going to read the data, that is the output, and how you are going to do the write operation means that is the input for the data. Okay, so normally there are different types of the data structure is available whenever you are using the computer for the programming purpose. But here we are going to talk about the series and data frame. So what is the series and what is the data frame? If you are going to talk about the series, you can know series is what is the one-dimensional data structure. It is a one-dimensional data structure. First thing you have to understand. What is the meaning of the one-dimensional? It means that the information is stored in the form of this way. This way it's going to store the information. This is A, B, C, D. So this is your data. This is your data. And one thing it's going to manage that is known as the index. One thing it's going to manage that is known as the index. So index is automatically given to this. This is the 0, 1, 2, 3. This way you can get the index. Okay. This way. And we have a facility we can give our own index also. We have a facility we can give our own index also. So series is a one-dimensional data structure. But if you are going to look at the data frame, if you look at the data frame, then you can find out easily that data frame is the two-dimensional data structure. It is the two-dimensional data structure. What is the meaning of the two-dimensional data structure? It means the information is represented in this way. Information is represented in data frame in this way. Not row and intersection of rows and columns are shown, line are not shown there. I'm just drawing here. It looks like this way. This is the column A, this is the column B, this is the column C. And now here you have having the different types of the data here, and here you are getting the index number. Here you are getting the index number. So this is known as the index, or you can say this is known as the row index, and this is called the column index. This is the column index, and this is the row index. So in this way, we are going to store the data. The first thing now we understand what is the series, how the data is going to store. Here the data is going to store just like a 1D array, just like an array, and here you are going to store the data just like a 2D array. So indirectly you can say this is the two-dimensional array, and indirectly you can say this is the one-dimensional array. The first thing you have to understand. Now second thing, okay, if you are going to check this, so one thing you can understand, whenever you are going to store the data in series, the data is the homogeneous. Here the data is the homogeneous. What is the meaning of the homogeneous? Homogeneous means similar types of the data you are going to store in a series. But here data is the heterogeneous. Here the data is the heterogeneous. What is the meaning of the heterogeneous? Heterogeneous means you can store the different types of the data here. You can store the different types of the data here. Means that suppose this is the name column. Suppose this is the name column. Then what you are doing? You are going to write the name. And suppose this is the fee column. Suppose this is the fee column. Then what you are doing? You are going to write the information in the form of the number. So one column is containing the number, one column is containing the string, one column can contain the date, one column can contain the integer value. So different types of the data you can store here, and that's why it is called heterogeneous, and series is known as the homogeneous. One thing you can also understand here, and that is related to the mutability. That is called mutability. Which one data type is the mutable and which one is the non-mutable? If you look at the series, then you can say there are two things is there. There are two things, means on two aspects we have to think about this. One is called value and second is called size. If we look at the series, then series is the value mutable. Series is the value mutable. But series is the not a size mutable. Means we can't delete the any row and column, any data from the series, and we can't add anything on. Means if you are going to do something, add and delete with the series, it's automatically going to create the new series. Suppose I am going to remove this, I am going to drop this, I am going to drop this. Then what happened? It's going to create a new series, and that series will contain the data like this way. So that is the difference. It's not going to make the change at the same place. It's not going to make the change at the same place. So that's why it is known as the size immutable. But we can change. If suppose in place of A, I am going to write my complete name, then I can write. I am having this facility, I can write this thing. So this is called value mutable. So it is value mutable, but it is not a size mutable. Okay. But if we are going to look on the data frame, in case of the data frame is a value mutable also, as well as it is a size mutable also. So you can change. You can make the changes in the value also, and you can add the new row, you can remove the any other column, you can remove the any other row also. So you can make a change anyway in a data frame. So now you understand what is the series. Series is a one-dimensional data structure. Data frame is a two-dimensional data structure. Series contain the homogeneous data, while data frame is contain the heterogeneous data. This is the 1 and 2 marks question, and this is important for your board exam also. So be careful about this. Series is a value mutable, while it is not a size mutable, while data frame is the value as well as size mutable. So this is about this basic concept which I have to discuss with you. Okay, now we are going to talk about why you are switching on camera. You are sleeping and taking class. Very good. Now the next concept is creation of series. Okay, how we are going to create the series. If we want to create the series, then what we have to do this. So this is the now creation of series. Okay, how we are going to create the series. If you want to create the series, the first thing we have to import. We have to write down the import statement. So the first thing we have to do, import pandas as PD. This is the most important and necessary instructions you have to write while you want to create a series. Okay, after writing this statement, what you can do? You have to call this. You have to call the method. A method through which you can create the series. The method is known as the series method. What is the name of the method? The method name is the series. Generally, we are passing the two arguments to this. This is the optional, data is the compulsory, but the second argument is optional. But most generally, we are passing the two arguments. One is data and second is index. One is data, second is index. Remember that this is an optional argument. Index is an optional argument. And because we have to call the series method, and this method belongs to the Pandas library, so we can't write the series method directly, we have to write the statement like this: pd dot series, pd dot series, or you can write here pandas dot series, panda dot series, and provide the data and provide the index. And in short, I'm writing int. Okay, so you have to follow in this way. And one thing, because this is going to create a series object, so definitely we have to write down the name of the variable before it also. So I'm writing here s and s. So s is what? It is a series object. It is a series object. So what happened? Whatever the series created by this statement, that series is going to referred by this object. Okay, that series is get referred by this object. Means if I want to access the series, I have to use this variable to access the series. So that is the things you have to understand. Okay. So now first you understand how you can create the empty series. If you want to create an empty series, simply you write the statement like this after import the statement. Remember that this statement is compulsory in any cases. First of all, you have to import the statement, then only you are going to write the any other thing. So first write this statement, import pandas as pd, and if you are going to use the numpy, then don't forget to import the numpy also here. So you must be write the statement import numpy as np. Okay, so these two things you have to take care, and after that you can write the statement like this: s equal to, and I want to create an empty series, so I'm going to write s equal to pd dot series only. Okay, and don't write the series in a small letter. So what I have to do, I have to write the series in capital. S is capital here, so series, and don't pass any argument. Don't pass any argument. So what happened now? We are going to create an empty series. This series is a empty series. This series is not having any value. Okay. So this way you can create the empty series. I think it's clear to you all. Is there any doubt anyone is having? If you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay. Next, what is this? What is the next? Suppose we can create the series by passing the different types of the value. We can create the series by passing the different types of the value. Means what? We can create the series by passing the sequence. What is the meaning of sequence? If I am saying the sequence, it means that I am talking about. Okay. So if you are going to talk about the sequence, then what is the meaning of the sequence? Sequence means we are talking about the list. We are talking about the tuples. We are talking about the dictionary. Dictionary I have written here. So we are talking about the dictionary, and normally a string. Don't write the dictionary here. A string is a different data type. It's not a sequence here. Okay, it is a mapping data type actually known as that. Okay, so a string, list, and tuples. So we can create the series with the help of the sequence also. We can pass the string as argument. We can pass the list as argument. We can pass the tuples as argument. Means as a data you can supply any one thing here. Okay, we can create the series with the help of the numpy array. We can create the series with the help of the dictionary. We can create the series. We can create the series with the help of the scalar value. We can create the series with the help of the scalar value dictionary. So now I'm going to tell you how you are going to use the sequence if you want to create a series. If you want to create a series and by using, I can show through this also, but it takes so much time. So I'm going to explain everything on the whiteboard just like this by writing only. So try to understand and be patient. If you want to check it, you just check it on your mobile, on your laptop or desktop, where you want to check. So now if I'm going to use a sequence, so how I'm going to create, suppose I want to create a series and the name of the series is the S1, and what I'm writing here, pd dot series. What I'm writing here, pd dot series. I hope so my handwriting is readable to you. And now I'm going to provide the list value here. So what I'm writing here, I'm writing 1, 2, 3, 4. This much only. So what happened by writing this statement? What's happened? We are getting, if you are going to print this as, suppose I'm writing print S1. Suppose I'm writing print S1. Okay. If I'm writing print S1, then what's happened? I'm getting yes, Meenakshi, do you want to say? And Nancy, do you want to say anything? Okay, so if I'm going to print this statement, so what I'm getting the output like this way. This is the one. In this rectangular box, we are not getting. Don't worry. This is the 2. This is the 3. This is the 4. And here it is written like 0, 1, 2, 3. So this 0, 1, 2, 3 is the index here. This is the index here. Okay, this is the index and this is the data. This is the data, and at last you will see here it is printed here D type. It is printed here D type colon, and because I am given the integer value, so it is by default its data type is the integer 64. So this message you are getting if you are printing S1. If you are printing S1, by writing this statement, I have just created the one series and we can get the output in the same way. Okay, the same output you can get if suppose I'm writing the statement like this: S2 is equal to PD dot, sorry, it's a dot, PD dot, okay, PD dot series, PD dot series, and this time instead of the tuple list, I'm going to pass the tuple here. I'm going to pass the tuple here. And okay, this much only I am giving this, and now I'm writing the print S2, print S2. Then what happened this time also I'm getting the same output because the same value I have given here. That's why I'm getting the same output. Okay. Okay. Next, if you are going to create a series and if you are going to provide the value, that is the numerical value. Suppose I am going to create another series S3 is equal to, and I am writing here PD dot. It's a dot, don't count anything I like this series. And now I am going to pass the value 1.5, 2.5, something like this. And now I am printing this series. Then how I am getting the output? I am getting the output like 0, 1, and here it is 1.5, here it is 2.5. And what data type it's going to show? That the by default it's going to give the data type float. By default it's going to give the data type float 32 or 64. It's a 64. By default it's giving float 64. It is a 64. Why 64? Because it is a 64 bits. What is the meaning of 64? 64 means 64 bits. So this way you are getting the output. So now you understand how you can use the list, how you can use the tuples. If you want to create suppose a series by using the string, so simply pass the string. Simply pass the string. Suppose I am passing like this S4, and you assume that I have written the import statement. Okay, so I am writing here import PD dot series. I'm writing here import PD dot series, and here I'm writing hello, how are you? Okay, or hello only, or you can write hello, how are you? Suppose I have written hello, how? This much only I have written here. And now I'm going to print the S4. Now I'm going to print the S4. So what happened in this case? If you are printing the S4, you are getting the output like this: 0. Okay, and it's a written the output hello how you are getting here. And whenever you are checking the data type, whenever you are checking the data type is the object. The data type is the object. You are getting the object data type here as a output. Okay, so this way you can get the output. This is the output of this the statement. Okay, now so now we understand how we can use this sequence. Next, I'm going to tell you how you can use the numpy array to create the array. If you want to use the numpy array, simply first of all you have to understand that you must write this statement: numpy import numpy as np, and I have already written the pandas as pd, and now I am going to create an array of numpy. So what I can do, I am going to call the several function of numpy array. So I can use np.nrange. Okay, I am using the np.nrange and I am giving the 1, 5. So what happened? It's going to create a numpy array, and that numpy array is containing the value, and the value in between 1 to 4, because this is the last value, so it will be not included here. It's just like a range function. Only difference is that this is the numpy array. This function will return an array, while range function will return the list value. And now I'm going to create another series, suppose as 5, and I'm writing here as 5, and I'm writing here PD dot series, PD dot series, and I'm passing the array only. So what happened, because this array function is going to create an array. Okay, so what happened, I'm getting the output like this way. Suppose if you are going to print the S5, you are writing the statement print S5. So how you are getting the output? You are getting the output 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the index, and this is your value 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we are getting the data type int 64 or 32. It's a 64, I think. Okay, so we are getting the output like this way. Now I'm going to check this numpy array situation. I want to check. So I'm writing the command here. Let's see. I have some confusion with the data type. So I want to show you. So I'm writing here import numpy. Okay, numpy numpy as np, and I'm writing wait. I have to wait because this takes some time. Okay, done. So now I'm writing here import pandas. Okay, as pd. So this was done. Sorry, why I have given the semicolon? Okay, it's working. I think it's waiting for another command. Yeah. So now imported, and now I'm going to write as equal. First, I'm going to create array, and array equal to and what I'm writing here, np dot and range. Okay, and range, sorry, and range, array range, numpy range. It's working or not? Or is there any problem? Oh, arrange. Actually, I'm using the wrong function here. It's a arrange, array range, not n range. So now I'm showing this. This is the array is created. So here is the one mistake. That's why I check this. Okay, sometimes it's happened. So don't worry. This is the A. This is the A. Don't count as a N. Okay. So now I'm going to call. I'm going to call the series object. So I'm writing as dot dd dot series, and what I'm passing array here simply, and I'm pressing the enter key and I'm printing the S. So it is integer 32 because this is the numpy array. So in case of numpy array, what happens? The default value is not 64, it is the 32. That's the outs I have. That's why I have checked it. So now you got it. The what output you are getting this. Okay. So this way we can create the numpy array also. Okay, using the numpy array. You can use any other function of numpy array. It's up to you which functions you are going to use and which functions you want to use. This is up to you. You can use the linear space also instead of this array dot this. Instead of this, you can use the linear space and you can use any other functions. I'm not going to discuss this much. Okay, because you have to just do the practice, and I'm writing here 1 comma 10 and I want the value in between this 5. Okay, so this much, and now you check the array is created like this way. So this is the float data type, and if I'm going to write this statement, look at this, it's a float 64. So this data type is the float 64 and the array is created. Okay, so this is about how to create the array through the numpy array. What is the next? Next is the dictionary. Suppose you want to create an array through the dictionary. Dictionary, you all know, this is the mapping data type, and if you want to create the series through the dictionary, so normally what happens? Suppose I have a one dictionary like this, one, okay, and I have another component 2, and I'm writing here 2, okay, like this way. This is the dictionary here, and if I'm going to create the series with the help of this, then what happens? Let's see. I'm showing you here. Okay, just look at the. Yeah, look at here. So I'm creating the one dictionary first. D is equal to, and I'm writing here 1 colon, and I'm giving 1 something like this, and then I'm writing here 3. I'm not giving the value in sequence. There is some reason behind this. I want to show you. You just understand this. After writing this example, you easily understand why I have not given the value in series like this. Okay, so 7, and now I'm closing this. So my dictionary is ready, and now I'm going to create a series, and s equal to, I'm going to create. I'm going to write the same statement here, just enter key, and instead of AR, I'm going to type D here. Okay, and now you see this. What happened? What happened? You just try to understand here what happened and what is the difference between the previous example and this example. In a previous example, what happened? The index is given by automatically. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, in the previous example also the index is given automatically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But what happened in case of the dictionary? In case of the dictionary, the index value is similar to the index of the dictionary. The index value is similar to the index of dictionary. You can observe it here. You can see it here. What happened here? The index is 1, value is 1, index is 3, value is 3, index is 7, value is 7. So in a series also, index is 1, index is 3, index is 7. Okay, so this way it's a something different. So that things I want to show you, and I hope you understand this. Now you understand how can create the dictionary. This now another thing is the scalar value. We can create the series with the help of the scalar value also. What is the meaning of the scalar value? Scalar value means I want to create the series with the help of the only one value. Instead of so many value, I'm writing here 21. What happens? It's going to create the only one element. Okay. So series is created with the one element here, only one row is here. Okay. But if I'm going to mention the index here, suppose I'm going to use the same object, but here I'm going to write index. So we can specify our own index also. We can specify our own index also by using the index argument. So what you will do, you have to write the index like this. Suppose I'm writing index 6, 1, 9, okay, 12, okay, 87. So this index values I have given just. And now you check it this, what happened? It's created because you have given the 5 index value. So it's creating the 5 index element here, and all are getting the similar value. All are getting the similar value. So that is the advantage and that is the difference between this. But don't think that you will not use the index with the list, you will not use the index with the any other value. Suppose I'm writing the list here, suppose I'm giving the list here, but be careful, the number of items and number of index must be matched. Number of elements in index and number of items in your, okay, these two things must be matched. Look at this, index, number of elements in the index and number of elements in the data. They must be matched, otherwise we are getting an error message. Okay, so look at this. We can use the index like this way, and we can use the index in any other way also. Suppose you want to use the index from a string, so we can use the like this way also. We can use the some other statement also like this. We can use x. There is a one statement x for we can use the statement like this, index is equal to, and I'm writing here ch for ch in, and I'm writing here adty Aditya only. This much because I have 5 value here, so that's why I'm giving the only 5 value here. So this way also we can use. Now look at this, every character of Aditi becomes the index value for the every element here. Okay, so we can use this concept also, and we can use the some other concept also. Suppose I have a one array is like this way, and suppose I'm going to create the one array in this way. Array is equal to np dot arrange. Okay, and now I'm using here arrange, and now I'm using here 1 comma 5. Okay, we can use the expression also for the creating the data instead of the scalar value and something like this. Suppose I'm using here, and I'm using here, I'm giving the data like this way, array multiply 2, and index I'm giving this. I'm giving the index like this way. Look at this, there is a problem, length value. Okay, length value is problem. Okay, so I'm giving this much only. This is the error. This error you are getting if mismatch of the index. Look at this, what happened? Look at the array and what value is there, because I have given this, and we know that numpy array is doing the factorize operation, so it's doing like this way. Okay, so that thing is happen here. So next I'm going to show you just fast. Come on, and we can use the some other operations also. We can do some like this way also. So we can do. Okay, so this way we can create the series object by using the data and by giving the index also. You can provide the index also, and you can provide the data also. So now look at this. This is the data and this is the index. Achha, one thing you want, I want to tell you. Suppose you want to mention the data by using the data keyword. Can we do this? Yes, you can do this. So don't be confused with this. Suppose instead of this statement, suppose I'm writing here and I'm going to erase these things. And here I'm writing index equal to here, and here I'm writing data is equal to this. Okay, we can change the position also by write. If you want to write the data, then you can write the index first and you can write the data after the index. We can write this way also. Look at this. It will not create any error message. We can write in this way also, because you are mentioning the name of the argument, so you are free to use the argument anywhere. Okay, at the first position, at the last position. But if you are not mentioning the argument name, then it is compulsory. We have to use it before that. Okay, we are at the first position only. So now you understand how we can use this, how we can create the series object, and how we can specify the data, and how we can use the expression, mathematical expression or functions while creating the series object. Okay, so now you understand. Now I'm going to tell you about the attributes of the series object. We all know that every object is having some predefined attributes. So whenever you create the series or whenever you create the data frame, the Pandas have decided the some attributes for the series and data frame, so that attributes is assigned there automatically. So what attributes is important for the series? You just try to understand. There is a one attribute that is called index. And index, what is the use of the index? Index attribute is give the indexes of the series. If you want to get the index only, you want to know about the index only. For that purpose, you have to use the index, and it's going to return the value as an index array. As a index array, and sometimes it's returning the output in the form of the range value. It's telling that the value is from this range to this range if it is in a sequence format like this. Right now, if I'm going to check this, I'm getting something different index here. One thing. Second is the values. If I want to know about the what values are stored, I want to know only the data. I don't bother about the index. I want to only the data. So for that purpose, we are using the values. And here you are getting the output in an array format, NumPy array. It's giving the output in a NumPy array. These things you have to understand clearly. It's giving the output in the form of a NumPy array. I'm going to show you here. Just wait. If I'm writing here as dot index, as dot index. So what happened as dot index? Look at this, what you are getting. And if I'm writing the as dot values, then look at this, what you are getting. So this way you are getting the output. Output is always given in the form of the array. Okay. So there's two arguments are important for you. Sometimes you have to use the index argument. Sometimes you have to use the values. Okay. If you want to check the data type, if you want to check the data type, then there is a one more attribute that is known as the data type. It's tell about the what is the data type of the data. What is the data type of the data? This is the data type of the index, and this is the data type of the data. So normally it will tell about the data type of the data like this way. This data, what is this data type? Actually, this is the type of the data. It's not talking about the index. It's talking about the data here. So this value you will get through the data type. If you want to know shape, if you want to check what is the shape of the NumPy array, series object. So for that purpose, we can use the shape argument. We can use the shape argument for this. First, I erase this. Okay. Yeah. So now look at this. Okay, how we can check the shape and how we can check the data type as d type, and I'm simply writing here as d type, and I'm simply writing here as dot shape, and look at this what I'm getting. 4. 4 means there are 4 elements. Okay, it's a one-dimensional array, so we are getting the output in a tuple form, but it's having only one value. If we are going to check the there is a one more argument is there. This is called n bytes. So we are going to check that as dot n bytes. What is the meaning of the n bytes here? Normally it's tell about the how. What is the total consumption of memory? What is the total consumption of memory? So it's saying that it is the 4 bytes. Why 16 is given here? Because it's a 32. So number of bytes is the 16. And because 4, yeah, every archer, but this okay. Why is the 16 given here? What? How we will calculate this 16? Because one variable is consuming the 32 bits. One value is consuming the 32 bits. 32 bits means this is the 4 bytes. This is the 4 bytes. And there are 4 number of data. So 4 multiplied 4, what value we are getting? This is the 16 bytes. So that's why you are getting the 16 bytes value here. Okay. So this output, I hope you understand this. Okay. Next, the next argument, and that is the ending. We can use the ending here also to identify the number of dimensions. See how many dimensions are there. Normally, it's having the one dimension because it is a one dimension array. There is a size attributes are also. So this attribute is used to check the number of elements are available in the series object. Through this, we can find out the number of elements are available. Actually, you can identify the number of elements through the shape also. But we have another options as dot size. Look at this as dot ending. You can check this. This is always one value. There is no item size is working right now. Earlier versions it is available item size also, but right now there is no item size. So how we can get the item size? Divide this by this. You can easily come to know. 16 divided by 4. You can easily come to know what is the item size. So number of bytes divided by n bytes divided by as size. As size, you will get the data types, item size. Hasnance. What is the use of the hasnance? Normally, hasance is used to check the series object is having the NaN value or not. What is the NaN? What is the meaning of the NaN? As you all know, 9 is the not a number. It's an empty value in a numpy array. It's an empty value in a numpy array. So if you want to check, is there any empty value in this? Okay, NaN value is given. So if there are any NaN values there, then for that purpose we are calling the has NaN attribute, and it's returned true if there is any NaN value is there, otherwise it's returned false. Empty to check the series object is empty or not. So now the index, values, data type, shape, ending, size, has names, empty. So these are the attributes of the series object. These are the attributes of the series object. Okay. So these things you have to understand. Okay. Through this you can just get the internal information, and sometimes we are using it for doing the some calculation also. Okay. Now the next time, now the next thing is that how we are going to access the individual element. If you want to access the entire series, we are simply writing the name of the series, or we are simply writing the name of the series inside the print statement, and we are getting the output of the series. Means like this, what I want to tell you, I'm telling you, if you want to print the series object, suppose you want to print the series object, then what you are doing? Either you type S in an interactive mode, or you can type print S. So in both cases, we are getting the output. But if I want to access the individual value, I want to access the 9 only, I want to access the 16 only. So how it is possible? I want to access this value only. So how it is possible? It is possible with the help of the index of the series object. Okay, so how we can access the individual element of the series, accessing individual element. So how you can do? You can do with the help of the index value. So what is the syntax of this? Syntax is this: series object means we have to write down the series object name. Okay, so the series object name, and then you have to mention the index. A valid index. A valid index. If it is not valid, we are getting an error message. Like this, I'm showing you. Suppose if I'm writing S5, S of 5. So 5 is not a valid index here. You can look at this. The maximum index value is 4 and minimum is the 1. It is the 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm writing S of 5. So it means I'm getting an error message. If I press, look at this. What error I'm getting? I'm getting an key error message here. So this type of error you will receive if you are giving the invalid index value. So now I'm writing here. S of 1. Sorry, it's a wrong way of writing the syntax. S of 1. So I'm getting the first value S of 2. I'm getting the second value S of 3. I'm getting the third value S of 4. I'm getting the fourth value. So this way we can access the individual elements. Okay. So now you understand how you can access the individual element. Now there is a one thing. Suppose I'm going to create a series object. Again, I'm going to create a series object by writing this statement. By writing this statement. Okay. And this time I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it in the name of the object. It is S1. S1. So now I have a one object S and one is S1. Now I want to do the slicing. Do you know what is the meaning of the slice? We all know what is the meaning of the slice. Because these things you have already learned with the tuples, with the list, with the dictionary, with the strings. So everywhere we are, and with the numpy array also. So everywhere you will learn about the slice. What is the meaning of the slice? Slice means the part of. Slice means part of. If we want to take the some parts, if we want to take the some parts from the series object, we have to use the concept of slice. We have to use the concept of slice. Okay. So for that purpose, we are using the slicing here. So, but one thing you have to understand, as you know that, here look at this. Normally, we are doing the slice on the basis of the index position. In case of the list, in case of the tuples, in case of the dictionary. Dictionary is based on in case of the string. Okay. So in case of the numpy, normally we are doing on this basis. But how we can do in the series object? You try to understand, because it is possible in series object that index are not in continuous order. It may be in non-continuous order. So what happens if it is non-continuous, and what happens if it is an alphabet? So how we can do this? So always remember, with the series object, slice is done by position. Is done by position, not by index. It's done by position, not by index. So every element, suppose I am taking about this thing, suppose I am saying that this is the ADIT, these are the index 14916, okay, and here 14916, and this is the index value, okay, but every single object is having the one position also. So this is the position 0, this is the 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. It means we can do the slicing on the basis of position, not on the basis of index. So these things you have to remember. So now I'll do the further revision. In the next class, I'll try to take over further revision. Okay, all of you. So thank you. Is there any doubt anyone is having?
No, sir.
No, sir.